Hello there, my name is ChrisTenarium, and today we are starting our Nanoreno 2017 playthroughs. For those that don't know, Nanoreno is a month-long game jam about visual novels and such, and every now and again out of Nanoreno, something really good comes out of it. So we're sort of hoping we're going to find a gem. We're going to play through several games and hope that one of them turns out to be good. This has voice acting. And the girl sounds squeaky like an anime girl. Good start. The thin girl tightens her grip on her boyfriend's arm. Hey, in response, flashes the light in the direction of her cry, revealing a small pile of debris. The other two members of the party, a mousy girl with auburn hair and an apprehensive boy, rejoin the couple.
Who's that?
Hang on, is that the apprehensive boy? Alright, hang on. First of all, English voices, as opposed to... Hang on, let me turn this up so we can get a good earful of this voice acting.
What was that?
Ain't nothing, just some trash.
That is a interesting accent.
What was that?
So that's the girl.
Ain't nothing, just some trash.
I wonder if this guy is actually from the south of America. I don't know about... I don't know an incredible amount about the South of America, but I'm almost certain that people don't sound as weird as that. And if so, well, I do apologize. Ain't nothing, just some trash. I'm alright, I'm here. The teen shakes his arm around the thin girl's waist and pulls her close to him. Upon witnessing this, the mousy girl's expression becomes noticeably annoyed. Her eyes dart toward the other boy, now presently lifting the end of his tarp with his foot and peering beneath. Why'd you pick this place? Again? Is that what they're supposed to say? Where the fuck are they from? New Zealand? Again? Like, what the... Is that what? Is this the route we're going down now? Why'd you pick this place again? It ain't all that scary, you know? Ugh, let's not do that. His voice trails off as he moves the light from one corner of the staircase to the next. Just mainly a bunch of garbage. I don't know what this accent is. I need to stop it. They all direct their attention to the money girl, oh god, mousy girl who had suggested exploring the abandoned hotel. She merely shrugs in reply. A noise sounds from a spot just above them at the top of the staircase. With great speed, the boy wielding the flashlight aims the beam in that direction. Now that's more like it. The slender blonde snaps her brown eyes shut and buries her face in her boyfriend's chest. I don't like this, please. Can we just go home? We're getting some sort of music, but it's very, very quiet. Like, there's atmospheric music and then there's this. Like, I mean, I'm deaf in my right ear, so, like, it's really challenging to hear. The boy grins, revealing a gap between his front teeth, and gives his girlfriend a reassuring squeeze before ascending the stairs. Reluctantly, she follows. With trembling hands, the other boy seizes his glasses and wipes off the condensation forming on the lenses. Then he bounds up the stairs after the other two, muttering a prayer underneath his breath. The mousy girl stays put for several moments, her cobalt blue eyes watching her companions closely as they drift out of frame. She smiles dreamily and then pursues. You're writing a novel, aren't you? You're not... You're not... Right, yeah, you are indeed writing a novel. This isn't real. Oh well, I thought someone's gonna die. That would have been an amazing start to a Nanoreno game. This coffee tastes terrible. Talia enters the small office, mug in hand. The college student sitting at the card table in the corner doesn't acknowledge her entrance. Instead, he checks his cell phone. There are no new messages. With a sigh, Lucas slides his phone back into his pocket and returns his attention to the laptop in front of him. Talia, with impossible eyes. Oh my god. Look at my eyes, right? Okay, I'm going to open them as wide as you can. You see how the pupils eventually stop? Right? It's not just all that. Her eyes are huge, and her pupils cover most of her eyes. Oh my god. Talia releases an indignant grunt as she crosses the room to her desk and sits on the edge. She brings the mug to her lips again, taking another sip. This is the quietest music of all time. I'd be shocked if you guys could hear a thing. There, let me turn it up a little bit. And despite that, it tastes terrible. You still drink it. She shoots him a playful look of irritation, though she's secretly pleased to have coaxed a reaction out of him. Anything interesting? Lucas reaches for the mouse and downsizes his game of solitaire before picking up the paper. He has a phone with solitaire on it. It's a phone from 2009, presumably. I don't know, I haven't had time to check yet. Talia lifts her brow. Really? Really? He's lying, of course. Lucas opens the paper and begins to read over the local news section, though his mind is elsewhere. With Talia being the eccentric that she is, Lucas didn't anticipate serving her as her TA would be so boring. Right. TA. What the hell is a TA? Is this a college thing in America? I think it's one of these college things in America. It's a teaching assistant, is what it is. Their regular meetings, in which they were supposed to edit the syllabus, usually devolved into conversation about current events. It was from these weekly meetings that Lucas learned his teacher was more than just eccentric. To put it bluntly, she's batshit crazy. Unfortunate, but otherwise commonplace events were, in her opinion, all the doing of aliens, scepters, and other paranormal phenomena. Good. She's, legitimately crazy. Good start. The first time she made such a comment, Lucas choked on his coffee and it dribbled down into his neatly pressed button-up. He has since stopped dressing so formally. Anything now? There's a car show. That's not interesting. Of course it isn't. Peeved, Talia pushed herself off the desk and strides over to the tiny card table. She positions her head next to Lucas's and attempts to read over his shoulder. You know the internet exists, right? You could just Google the stories. You could go to any website and just look at the current affairs without having to look at the newspaper. Personal space, please. Talia takes a step back. Can I borrow the paper once you're done? Curtly, Lucas folds up the paper and holds it out to her. Here, help yourself. While Talia scans the paper, Lucas takes a moment to check his phone again. No new messages. Missing high schoolers! That's something to be excited about? No, but this person is batshit crazy, so yes! This one's cute. Here, take a look. She holds the newspaper up to him, just inches away from his face. The picture shows a fair-headed, green-eyed boy. Right. So we're perving on people who have gone kidnapped. I feel we've creeped into morally grey area. A hearty grin marks his face, revealing a slight gap between his front teeth. 3 other photos appear alongside his. One is of a slender girl with a small nose, lengthy blonde hair, and a heavy coating of makeup. Next to that is a picture of a pimply boy in a small frame in garishly thick glasses. Lastly, there's a photo of a girl that could best described as plain, or perhaps mousy. Right, I see what they're trying to get at here. She's not working on a novel at all. There's nothing especially remarkable about her appearance, save her piercing blue eyes. Thanks, but I'm not really into guys or high schoolers. And neither should you be. How old are you again? How interesting. Pretty boy's car was found parked outside of an abandoned hotel in Asheville, but the 4 still haven't been found. Talia pauses for a moment, bringing her fist into her chin in a reflective gesture. Why don't you go and investigate? Me? Why? Why not? Alright, let me rephrase that. If you're so interested, why don't you do it? I simply have too much to do already. Besides, she absent-mindedly traced her finger along the edge of her desk. I don't think you do enough around here. Hey, I do plenty. I drink coffee, I play solitaire, I check for messages on my phone. All of these things are very worthy of time. How dare you? Really? Lucas glances at his downsized game of solitaire. Yes. Fine, you've worn me down. If you investigate, I'll grade the students' midterms. Lucas takes a moment to consider his options, then lets out a small groan. Fine. Right, there's only one car I see outside. It's a blue van with wood in the trunk. In the boot. I don't know, actually, what would you call that? know. What do you call the backside of a truck? I'm not American enough for this. Lucas zips up his jacket, hoping to fend off the chilly mid-October breeze. I mean, when they said abandoned, I didn't think they meant this abandoned, like graffiti and paint falling off the wall sort of abandoned. Feeling his leg vibrate, he promptly straightens and reaches into his pocket. Jen? He stares at the phone's display, once again seeing the painfully familiar blank screen. He sighs, his breath lingering in the air as the moisture condenses. Must have just been a shiver. Can't stay mad at me forever. He slides his phone back into his pocket and then wanders around the edges of the condemned hotel looking for an unsealed entrance. Soon he comes across a broken window. He climbs through, relishing the crunch of broken glass underneath his sneakers as he lands. Why would you relish crushing something? Then he mills around the stair, landing absent-mindedly, kicking up debris. This is what you'd expect of a dilapidated building. Lame. Talia is sure to be disappointed, he thinks, as he snaps pictures with his smartphone. Just a few more. 20 underwhelming photos later, Lucas concludes that he has enough photographic evidence to pacify Talia. As he turns to leave, an out-of-place sound catches his attention. After listening for a few more moments, he decides that the sound, though distant, is definitely that of a woman crying. Nope. Lucas turns on his heel and heads toward the broken window through which he entered. Hello? Nope, 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 nope. Oh, thank goodness! Slowly, Lucas turns around and peers up at the girl observing him from the top of the staircase. She quickly dabs away from her blue eyes before racing towards him, nearly kicking a dead flashlight in her descent. What are you doing here? She raises her eyes towards the ceiling, seemingly a little lost for words. I got lost. Lucas is sure that even she realises the ridiculousness of her statement, but before he can interrogate her further, she questions him. What are you doing here? Work. The girl furrows her brow. Okay, so neither of us have a good reason to be here. Let's just leave it at that and get out of here, okay? The girl grins and links her arms with his. I was so scared before you came. I bet, but you're going to have to let go of me if you want to leave, unless you know another way out. He gestures to the broken window with a nod of her head. But I don't want to. She wraps her arms around his waist, forming an X across his back with her forearms. What? Right, oh okay, she's grabbing him like that. Her grip is surprisingly strong. Due to the restriction of air, Lucas's next uttering comes out as hardly more than a whisper. We can't leave until you let go of me. I don't want to go. Not yet. Hey. Startled, Lucas drops his cell phone. It lands next to a thick glasses lens, which Lucas notices for the first time. Unlike every other object in the room, the lens are not coated in a thick layer of dust. Stomach churning, his eyes dart to the girl in front of him as he frantically attempts to recall the faces of the lost teens. Her blue eyes are piercing, just like the girl from the fourth photo. And yet her hair is different. It was all burn in the photo, wasn't it? Look, maybe she was just sick of being a ginger and she wanted to go blonde. Do you ever think of that? How insensitive. Did you hear about those missing teens? Awful, right? So young. Makes me want to make the most of my time. Right, okay. She leans into him, nuzzling his neck. It's weird, you kind of look like one of them. Or rather, two of them combined. Her breath on his neck suddenly stops. For several moments, she doesn't move, doesn't even breathe. Then, in a jarringly quick moment, she jerks her head backwards. You're crazy! She throws her head skywards, bursting out in hysterical laughter. It's then that Lucas notices the slight gap between her front teeth. Just what the hell are you? The girl stops laughing suddenly and her pupils narrow into tiny slits. I was going to allow you several minutes of bliss before I devoured you, but if you're going to be rude... Her limbs are contorting now, growing longer and more wretched. Lucas winces as this beast's claws cut deep into his shoulders. Are we going to wake up and it's all going to be a dream, or are we just fucked? The high schoolers, you ate them? The creature stretches his lips into a smile. I prefer the term absorbed. Its tongue slithers out of its mouth and slowly up its neck, then into its ear. With a pop, the creature's jaw unhinges, ready to swallow him whole like an anaconda. Then... You're definitely making this up. Oh, for fuck's sake, of course it's a dream! Let me guess, I just got there and nothing happened. Talia sits backwards on a foldable chair directly across from Lucas in the tiny teacher's office. Her full legs stretch out in front of her in an unladylike manner. You asked what happened, didn't you? Lucas points to a small band-aid on his cheek. Otherwise, he appears unharmed. You don't have to get all pissy because I sent you on a wild goose chase. I'm not! That's really what happened! Whatever, I'm not mad. I mean, I got a good story out of it, didn't I? She smiled at him before getting up and pouring herself another cup of coffee. Lucas seems pleased at her sudden interest in him, even if only for a little while. So what's the point? Point? You know, the moral of the story, the lesson to be learned. Look, not everything is some trashy 20-minute episode that needs a moral at the end of it, okay? Sometimes things are just funny. There's no point to them. Yes, I'm looking at you scrubs and The Simpsons. It drives me off the wall. I hadn't thought about that. He brings his fist up to his chin thoughtfully. Women are monsters? Rolls eyes. Talia plops down in front of him again and takes a sip of her coffee. I don't think so. How about her eyes wander toward the ceiling as if she'll find inspiration there? Women can become insatiable creatures when it comes to matters of the heart. I don't think that just applies to women, though. True. Talia lowers her gaze, locking eyes with Lucas. Though this moment only lasts a few seconds, it feels like much longer to Lucas, who holds his breath as she leans close and flicks his nose. That's your punishment for lying to me. Am I a dog? No, a baby. Apparently you're a baby. Abruptly, Talia stands and announces that she has papers to grade. With a sour expression, she crosses the room and dumps the contents of a collapsible bin on her desk. As to be expected, not all the papers land on her desk. Some fall around it, while others, carried by an invisible current, glide across the room. She doesn't seem to mind, however. Lucas stands to retrieve the papers, but stops when he feels his phone vibrate, prompting him to retrieve the device from his pocket. He notices he has a new message from Jennifer. Lucas hesitates, glancing up at Talia. Her full lips move slightly as she reads each word of the student's essay. You're reading every single word, you're not even skimming through it. Oh my god, it's going to take you hours to get there. No wonder you don't like doing it. A strand of her dark hair falls forward and she brushes it back without taking her eyes off of the paper. Lucas slides the phone back into his pocket and begins collecting the fallen papers. Let me get those for you, Talia. Wait, am I supposed to infer something from this? I am supposed to infer something more from that, right? Is there a secret ending that I didn't understand, or was that it? Hang on. No, that is it. It is a kinetic novel. No one appears to have said anything about a secret ending. I know it feels like it's going on to something else, if you know what I mean. Like, it felt like all that was needed was, like, I don't know, the girl to burst out of him or something and then be like, right, I'm sick of your lazy ways, or, you know, just something. Because that game was teacher, dude, she asks him to go visit a building, an abandoned building where 4 kids went missing. He goes there. He lied to her, and then the game ended. You see what I mean? I don't know. I can only presume that there was probably more to this originally. Oh well. It was entertaining whilst it lasted, I guess. It certainly wasn't a gem, but it was amusing enough. There wasn't a moment in that where I was sitting there like, oh god, I just want this to end. Just fade me already. This was okay. I just wish it was 5 or 10 minutes longer, I guess. Alright, well, my name's ChrisTenarium. I guess you'll see me in the next Nanoreno playthrough, won't you?